this one, I feel like we need to discuss the ultra bias. And obviously, we all know ultra bias exists, where ultras are usually just the best in the game, basically guaranteed, with it being number 1 or number 2. If not Mixie, tied number 1 or 2 within another character. Let's say like UVB and Go Frieza. Well, if Go Frieza didn't get buffed, guess what? UVB was the best, and he was at that time being debated as number 1 within Go Frieza, despite, you know, how good Go Frieza was and how they even will one-shot him. It didn't even matter. MVP 17 being good at that time, whatever, it literally didn't matter. The bias got to end, though, because once I see a character like this, and I've already complained about Goku individually, but why is it that this character, who is now older than the newest unit, is having it where you can't attack after you hit him with 3 cards, right? And this Vegeta, this Vegeta, he gets his gauge popped, which, mind you, also takes 3 cards, and his only form of disrupt is basically nothing, to be frank with you. This isn't anything that does anything that matters. Reduce enemy key by 60 rather. All enemy sub count +2, and then seal mains for 5 counts. And mind you, the sub count thing is only 2 times, which makes no sense to have at all. All they can do is just infinite combo. Some units are immune to this, with being like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but why are these gauges, or this disruptions, I mean, one's a gauge, one's just bullshit, why are they so far apart? Mind you, Goku also ups your card cost by 5 every time. I know it's not crazy, but he also does that on top of his disrupt that already exists. And if you don't have lower card cost inherently in your kit, you will feel that card cost upping. I mean, a lot of units actually do. Even UV4 feels that from time to time from Goku, especially paired with UV4 alongside. But why is it that this guy has such a mediocre disrupt compared to the newest character that just dropped right before him? Again, I'm not expecting LFs to be better off than Ultras. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm just wondering, why do you have some units that follow a philosophy correctly and others don't? Now, I know the baseline answer to that would be money. You know, obviously, Ultras make more money because they are such anticipated things to be such top-tier releases. But if you actually think about it logically, at least if I think about it logically here, if they made LFs to the degree of where they make Ultras, or make Ultras to the degree of where they make LFs, and every unit can be anticipated as a very top-tier release, wouldn't that actually bring in more money? Because a lot of people right now are skipping Super Saiyan 2 Mini Vegeta because they see that Namek Goku from 8 months ago is more valuable than him. They see Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't really give a fuck about him because he has the disruption. And even if this guy wants to ban blue cards and he's kind of circumventing a way to fight Goku, he's still not going to be good enough because he has other flaws. Why does Vegeta have flaws while Goku has none? Goku has cup pen stacking, cancel buff effect, endurance with GT ally, can't rush him, can't combo him, and then here's Vegeta, who can do good burst damage, can do great blue card damage, and has a mediocre gauge that doesn't really do anything in the full necessity of it. Why is that? Why, again, as I just mentioned him right here, why is he still in the meta? This unit is 8 months old. I get that people want units to age well. Notoriously speaking about LS, because Ultras always age well. Look at Frieza, who's kind of been thrown around and just run again, and even then was still being run for a good minute. Namek Goku also aged well. Again, these are both 8-month-old Ultras. You have Goku, who's definitely going to age very good. You have CMZ, who's aged for better, for worse. UV4's gotten his resurgence within Goku. Every Ultra's aged well. But then you look at LFs, and here is Jamba, who's getting fucking dick down right now. Here is Kefla, where Mini Vegeta literally is a new Kefla. I've already explained this, but I'll explain it again. Kefla and Mini Vegeta are the same release. Kefla is going to be inferior to Apeless when Apeless arrived, and Apeless was before Kefla, and you just run Saiyan Saga, that is a better team. As well as, on top of that, there was already Frieza that existed. So what was the purpose of running Kefla? While the unit's fun, the unit's good, and the unit is the same prospect of Vegeta here, what would be the purpose of even running Kefla at that point? There was none. You just pulled for Kefla if you wanted to. Reps wasn't really a team at that point. It didn't really matter because Strike Reps and Reps really never becomes a genuine team. They just make it an amalgamation of Reps characters, not on a Reps team. So there's no point to even have Kefla, but Kefla is the character that drops in the same exact slot as Vegeta here after a big celebration. And here's Vegeta now, who's dropping after Namek was already being run, after UI just got buffed, and I guess, well, you could say Vegeta is better than UI, at least I would say that. Which I guess is a step up from where Kefla was worse than both Apeless and Frieza, just because the safety Apeless was providing, which is better off than anything Kefla could design for herself, as well as how frail she was. But here we are now with, I guess, Vegeta's better than, UI, that's great, but here's Namek Goku, 8-month-old character who has a lock-in, who has a safety for your entire team, who has AoE Green, who has support, who has damn near everything you need in the kit, and it's like, why am I even summoning? Why are you making it where Ultra is the only thing that can really matter? Besides the obvious new Gohan, as we have seen right here, clearly, but all that matters is Ultra. I mean, right now, if you play PvP and you were to queue up, you're going to fight Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or you're going to fight Gohan, which I'll state, Gohan basically is an Ultra. His kit is an Ultra kit. He has everything. Ultras follow no philosophy. LFs usually follow somewhat of philosophy. Gohan doesn't follow any philosophy. You could even say SG is pretty balanced, because SG doesn't have any fucking disrupt in SG. He has some disrupts and annoyances within the pre, and he's a really hard damage dealer with having flaws of still being able to die pretty quickly, as well as being a very good hyper offense unit. But again, still flaws. Gohan has no flaw, having one of the highest guards in the game, as well as getting better guard when allies are getting their ass beat, then you swap into him. Why are these ultras slash pseudo ultras, at this point I could just name every Gohan being pseudo ultra, being what they are, and LFs are being, here's Vegeta's disrupt that does nothing. I've had Gohan still combo me through Vegeta's disrupt because they're immune to his ki reduction from time to time, as well as have their main ability ready to go after getting Vegeta's gauge. What did I do to deserve that? Why is Goku here having it where, okay, well, he does his blast cards, he gets the ki reduce, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what happens? They could just switch attack to UV4. Why is UV4 having an everything kit of having cancel buff effect, endurance, as well as having an infinite combo that can't be stopped within his green card popped into his gauge usage of cards? How is that feasible to something that actually coexists as logic? There's nothing. Again, LFs are actually pretty good for this new philosophy aspect. Looking at them all here, Kaioken had flaws within, obviously off boost, but flaws of having a defensive mold when he was in Kaioken, especially against not big moves. Apeless did not do much damage. He could definitely combo, but he didn't do much damage. Cooler was having offense issues as well as tanking issues, but they fixed his tanking issues to a degree, so he's kind of following philosophy, if not just undertuned. Super Saiyan 3 had good damage and kind of annoyances within himself, but very frail, okay? 13, having utility of support, of a little bit of damage for himself, as well as more so giving that revival essence for you. As she already went over, Janemba having burst damage and being that potential guy for later on in the match and actually having you use your brain to use him. Gohan, he isn't. He's a pseudo ultra. Hiku having that burst potential and then being able to snipe units out. Mini Vegeta having the same burst potential, just within a different regard. Every LF, it seems, from this philosophy, at least from Anniversary and moving forward, I talked about Evo and UI, but it's the same thing as fucking Apeless and Kaioken here. Every LF, though, is having a prospect that philosophy actually followed to a more or less correct, here's, this guy's like 80% true philosophy, this guy's like 60%, but like they're in the same realm. Like, here's some undertuned guy of like Metal Cooler who's like 120% new philosophy, but he's actually undertuned in that philosophy, and it's just unfortunate. But why do the Ultras have to ignore it? Why is, to a degree, CMZ, but why is Goku and Vegeta and Goku again, why are they ignoring it? Why is Frieza ignoring it? I mean, I know Frieza is very low neutral, but in every other aspect, Frieza is ignoring the philosophy. The whole premise of the philosophy is also to nerf long combos, and here's Namek Goku, here's Goku Super Saiyan 4, UV4, and Frieza that can all do a pretty goddamn long combo, to be frank with you. But the intent of this shit is meant to be that you can't do that. You're not supposed to be able to do everything. The whole point of the philosophy is you don't get to do everything. So why is Mini Vegeta, who has a defensive gauge, intended to reset it, just like Transforming Goku Black, having less defense utilities than someone that's not even meant to be defensive? Goku Super Saiyan 4 is meant to be offensive. He's meant to damage you and beat the shit out of you. That's why he's sacking Cup Pen. It's obvious. So why the fuck can he stop your rush? Can he stop your attacks? As well as have better defense utility than anybody in the entire game? Why is one unit follow philosophy correctly, the other guy follows philosophy correctly, and then this numbskull fuck not follow it? It's an ultra bias. Again, I consider this character basically an ultra. I mean, shit, this looks like a fucking ultra art, to be honest with you. This shit, it's just clean. That's gonna happen here, but this guy has fucking ultra art already. This is just, it's fucking peak pinnacle. It looks beautiful. Why is he not following anything? I'm lost. Why do these ultras slash pseudo ultras that we have here not follow anything that's logical? But here's Mini Vegeta, here's Super Saiyan 3, here's Metal Cooler, here's everyone else following shit to basically a correct presumption what they would. Why? Well, what's the gap? Why do you essentially hate LF units now, Legends. You know, back in the day, we scroll back here, and here's these, you know, random monthly LFs, and here's Triku, once Turles drops, being a top 2 unit. I don't think Mini Vegeta is going to get to top 2 within a random unit buff, right? Here's, well, given these are celebration units, but we could scroll down. Here's Super 17, being just a random monthly LF, being a top tier god. Here's Baby, aging very well to where he was going to still be run, and still was being attempted to be run within time passing. And again, you could just scroll through, and I could just sort it by LFs here, and you could just see that you would have these monthly occurrences of just like, oh, here's this random god that exists. Here's Purple Cell, who was an after party LF from UVB that was fucking top tier. Nowadays, it's just, here's your anomaly guy that's most likely part of the celebration that's going to be your top tier broken god. But here's your off celebration units that are just whatevers. I mean, again, you look, Kefla is the same thing as Mini Vegeta. Cooler, a monthly, another month, another monthly, another monthly. And this guy's top tier more so utility sake. He's kind of those one-offs. But again, we just look at the monthlies within these units that are new philosophy, and it's just, like, it just makes it so underwhelming to feel for and to even summon for these characters, because you know the Ultra is always going to be better at this point, which back then, yes, you assumed it, but again, you at least could have some, I still can't believe the Zenkai exists, you could at least have some copium and hopium, especially like right here, by the way, existing of Daima, that the monthly LFs can compete and can be at least good enough against the Ultra where you don't have to just summon for the Ultra only. But again, you look in the past and you can see there's just random LFs that just have top tier spots, and it's like, here we go, here's MP 17, here's Zenkai, well now Zenkai, LF Cooler, here we go, here's Jiren, here's Tagdroids as the pre-bait, here's Freeze, I believe, as a pre-celebration thing, very good against GV and Sword of Hope, not God, but still very good. Here's Purple Cell, again, you just look back and the LFs actually had their value, they actually had their stock, and this is before Ultras right here, this Frieza, but everything else is post-Ultras, like, you could compete against the Ultras with the LFs, and now the Ultra bias is so strong, that the only LF here that can't compete against the Ultras is this guy. Even this unit is not, like, in the tier of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You're not seeing Super Saiyan 4 Goku and SG share a tier spot, bro. Like, that's not a thing. You'll see Gohan, maybe, but again, that's a Gohan biasy shit. That's not actually LF, that's just a fucking bias thing that exists right now. People were talking about this guy's going to be the new MVP 17. Brother in Christ, I run into him once every, like, 40 fucking games at this point. He is not. It's not even his own fault. It's because you had the Ultra bias, and it just kills so many characters so quickly that were doing so well. 13 was doing amazing pre-festival. Amazing. Even part 1, he was doing great. And then the Ultra biases, the Pseudo-Ultra right here, that kicks in, and then boom, 13 is not even run. I mean, if you want to call him top 10, cool. I don't think he is at all, because what the fuck's the prospect of using... I keep saying this fucking word! What's the point of using this unit when you're meant to combo with him, and then once you do that, Goku stops you, and then you have like 1 or 2 cards you can click with your actual unit you were intending to combo with within his support being used. There's no point. And it just makes no sense why have this Ultra bias. Because again, if you had LFs be on the same tier, if not a similar tier to Ultras, it would make more money as a developer. You would actually make more, because now I feel more incentivized to summon. Because think of it like this. Ultra Cell dropped, and Daima Forku is going to drop soon. Okay, well, Cell is very good. Basically, if you didn't have Gohan Trunks when Cell was out, you were getting cooked. And that was like a few weeks span. You were just getting cooked. So here's Daima Forku giving an alternative, given not a very healthy one, but an alternative nonetheless, to where, oh, I can run the Daima team now. And I can actually deal with Cell. Because there was nobody dealing with Cell. Gohan Trunks were not fucking killing Cell when he was neutral, 2-carding you on each life. He was not, you weren't fucking dealing with him that easily. The Daima Forku drops, and here's an LF that's matching a tier of an Ultra, and then now I feel incentivized going for the LF instead of going for the Ultra. That hasn't happened since Daima Forku. Have I ever felt the need? Okay, here's Nameku and Full Power Frieza. Do I ever feel the need to go back to Apeless, Kaioken, UI, and Evo? Have I ever felt that need? When CMZ dropped, did I ever feel the need to go back to previous releases from him? No. When Super Saiyan 4 Goku dropped, did I ever feel the need to go back to previous releases for him? UB4, same thing. Have I ever felt the need to go back to pull for a previous release, or be like, I wish I pulled him. Oh, I wish in the future that, this guy was really the savior complex that I wished for. No, there's not been that case since Daima Forku to Cell. And that, again, is old philosophy. So since here, with it being DBL 81, where we are now, DBL 91, 10 months, we've had it where Ultras just get everything kits. And basically within that 10-month span has been the new philosophy. Because right after Daima Forku is the new philosophy. DKP's new philosophy, Kid Coup, all of them. So the new philosophy was just another way, another typo, another typing to say, oh, well, we just want ultras to be broken, so they kind of get to do whatever the fuck they want. While LFs have all these restrictions, because you look at 90% of these LFs here, they're all restricted to fuck. Compared to one Ultra, compared to UV4, compared to Goku, compared to Frieza, compared to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Not fully CMZ, because they don't like villains too much, I guess. Frieza just being so iconic, I guess they fucking exemplified him. But most Ultras that dropped within, since Philosophy, have been undisputably doing everything kits. But every LF since, excluding Gohan, who again is a fucking pseudo Ultra at this point, has to have 10,000 flaws. People would summon more if the LF was good enough to match a par to stop said Ultra that's kind of destroying everything right now. But when you make it where the LFs are subpar and have 10,000 more flaws than the Ultra who has no flaws, this game is literally losing money every year. You are losing money because you're having your players not summon for characters that are good against the best characters. It's kind of common sense. Wouldn't you think as a company you want to stop losing money? Ultra bias gotta end, bro, because this shit is ridiculous. It makes no sense to even happen in a financial state, in a player state, or in a developer state. There's no state where ultra bias is giving you a positive in any net. No income, no satisfaction, nothing. There is no positive to ultras being as good as they are and LS being as subpar as they are. You do not gain more money as a company. But yet, it keeps happening for the last 10 months. It's been that case. What do I think of the ultra bias? It's gotta end, bro. Because I love using Vegeta. I like using Kefla. I like using Janemba. I love using Janemba. I like using these units that are just very good. But, you know, then I fucking queue into this piece of shit character, and then he's gonna be run every fucking game because, God forbid, people have any diversity or any fucking team building strategy that's not just, oh, I want to be boring. And then, boom. I don't want to even fucking run these units ever again. You have to default back to the generic, boring bullshit because all you do is incentivize one character, and then that one character is getting saved up for months. If you incentivize summons for other characters, guess what? People will run into other characters. But if you incentivize only Ultras for 10 months straight to be the best with no flaws compared to the LFs of that same premise of kits, people are only going to summon for the Ultras. And it's fucking stupid because you should want diversity in a game. This game has none because they only cater toward Ultras within 10 months now. It has been more diverse in the past. You ran to Cell, then you ran to Daima. That is diverse. That is changing. Guess what happened? Vegeta dropped. You were still running into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Guess what happened? Goku hit dropped. Gohan dropped. Mini Vegeta dropped. Super Saiyan 4 Goku dropped. Guess who you're running into? The two pseudo-Ultras. It's not Ultras themselves. Shouldn't the new release have some impact on the previous release? Is that not common sense? Fuck.